Hey, we're live. Mayang buntag, mayang hapon, mayang gabi to everyone out there that isn't there yet. So, uh, yeah, Cindy's already checking to make sure that we're live with audio. Make sure we're live with audio. Hey, I don't know if you can hear in the background, but we are live and we actually have audio today. And for the last couple of days for me, that's been a huge improvement. So, may buntag, may hapon, may gabi to everyone. And thank you for joining us this fine, wonderful Thursday morning. That if you noticed, we weren't here yesterday.
We do have internet yesterday.
I'm not sure if it actually made it to typhoon or if it was just a really strong.
No, it's not a typhoon, Daddy, because we're late. I called it.
Okay. That I think it was just a really strong tropical storm, a borderline typhoon.
Oh, yeah, that one.
Because we had signal one all day yesterday. It poured the night before, and yeah, there was all kinds of things going on, and we lost internet yesterday morning. So, and it rained most of the yesterday morning too.
The other day too.
Yeah, it rained quite a bit on No, it rained quite a bit the day before that too. So. Tuesday. We didn't get the Cebu City area didn't get the main onslaught that came elsewhere, but we did get the heavy outer bands.
Yeah.
And so we didn't have internet yesterday. My apologies. And it was way too wet to try and do a walking live stream. Weather was only good for a duck. In case you wonder what we're doing, we've got a footrest underneath our table that I was kind of stealing from Cindy.
Oh, thank you.
But yeah, at first I didn't think it was going to be that great of an idea, but she loves it, and so I decided to try it. It's big enough. It's actually the top box for Ruthie.
Yeah, I like it.
But Papa and I did go.
City Hardware.
Yeah, we wound up having to go to City Hardware yesterday. Gonna come my way. There we go. You can see that we've got a new addition. That we took the bad weather day and tried to make good use of it by assembling that thing. The next person I hear that complains about IKEA assembly packages, I'll buy them one of these stupid things to put together. Not only were the directions horrible, there was a couple places they were flat out wrong. And so we wound up spending most of the day just trying to get that thing assembled. Wound up doing some of that after Papa had gone even last night. But when we bought it, they were kind of bewildered that we wanted the flat pack. And partly I wanted that for transportation issues. Good morning, Philippine Experience. How you doing today, John?
Hi, John.
That they asked us, do you have a drill? Hi there, David. How you doing today? And I thought they were using it for the screw bit adapter.
We're preparing for that cabinet.
And no, that they weren't. That about literally half of the pilot holes for the screws were never drilled. And so Papa and I tried a couple different techniques. I didn't have a hammer. We were using a ratchet as a hammer. And it finally got frustrating bad enough that I said, screw this, let's stop. We'll go in the morning and get the tools we need. And so that's what we did is we went down and bought a drill and a hammer.
Hi, Danielle.
That again, back in Arizona, Hey Daniel, how you doing today? That I've got a pretty decent shop set up that's got a nice set of Ryobi cordless, 18 volt, and so I never worry about stuff like that. And I've got everything I need right there. And uh, yeah, no, I needed them, and fortunately we were able to find a relatively inexpensive set. Not sure the quality yet, down to City Hardware, and just bought that. The other purchase I made there that I got Cindy's approval before I did, because that was about 7,000 pesos, is those multi-fold ladders
Yeah.
that can do the that are folded 4 foot high. Yeah, it's a nice little hammer drill. To do the 8 foot A-frame and 12 foot or 16 foot extension. Then I picked up one of those, figuring that, worst case, we can run it out of Cebulla and Papa can use it when we don't need it. But the ceilings are high enough here that I can't get the lights to change them or anything like that. We've got Cindy a nice little step ladder that worked okay in the condo, but here that the ceilings are just too high. And there's a couple of light fixtures that we may want to change out. So that came in nice. I'm not sure the quality of it, but I bought a decent ladder, and it's one that I've got back in the U.S. and I've got one of these 4 fold ladders that pulled up. Mine's the 12 foot version instead of 16, but I couldn't find the 12 foot version, and so I just bit the bullet and got the 16, figuring these ceilings are quite high enough that I don't have to worry about an 8 foot ladder in here. But there again, back in the States, I've got a couple different ladder choices that I can use that I don't worry about it. And back in the States, I've had 40 plus years to build up that shop. And it definitely shows in all the crap that I've got in there. I'm not a small guy. You've seen me.
But you lose 30 pounds.
Yeah, I've actually lost some weight. I've actually lost about 15 pounds since we've been here.
No, over 20 pounds. You used to weigh 250 pounds.
Well, I was way back before I started losing weight. But yeah, when we.
Yeah. But overall, you lose like 30 pounds.
And Daniel, I've actually thought of doing that. I have thought real hard of doing that. But until we get settled somewhere and some other things get settled, there's no sense in it. I'll have to double check. If the camera was a little bit more mobile, I may go do that.
You have the one that you bought. What color? Is it the tools that we bring?
Oh, no, I did bring from the U.S. A pretty decent set. Now, I'm not going to open it because there's loose tools in here right at this point. Yeah, careful. And it's got most everything you'll need. And it's a good set of crescent. There we go. But one thing it doesn't have is a hammer.
That's why you bought one.
And I bought just a little cheap one that for anything I'm doing here at this place. And the townhome we're in is going to be more than enough for that.
Did you answer David's question? What's the name on it if it's like a real refrigerator?
Yeah, I'm not sure the name. If the camera was a little bit more mobile, I'd run it out and check. We haven't got around to setting it up yet.
Because you're fixing that one.
I wanted to get that project done and in the books before I moved on to assembling a ladder. That it's got the broad feet at the bottom to help with stability.
Yeah.
The other thing I like about those ladders like that, they do make a good scaffold. And the one in the U.S. I've used as a scaffold quite a few times. And because a lot of times just a 3-foot height elevation is all you need to get a lot of things done, and being able to walk back and forth is really great. You just stick a couple of boards or a metal plate on it.
I just noticed the gap. Is that?
Oh, no. It's actually going around the corner
For the kitchen.
that way in the kitchen. You can just faintly make out the
Stone.
refrigerator over there. It's going straight across from the refrigerator on that wall.
Yeah.
That right now that there's a little table there that needs to get moved before we put that there. But I didn't finish that up until about 8 o'clock last night. Cindy was already in bed, so I just moved it off to the side so it wasn't in the middle of the floor like it was. And we'll work on doing a little further arranging. We've also got a desk that needs to go upstairs. I don't know, questions like that for the Philippines. I've definitely seen some furniture arrangements that kind of make you go, who was thinking of that? Who thought this one out? But yeah, the desk we're going to take upstairs piece by piece because the flat pack is kind of heavy.
Yeah.
And it'll be just as easy to run it upstairs piece by piece. That way the pieces you need are there. And you're not stumbling over everything too. And I may take a day off and do a good mopping and thorough cleaning of the room before I put it up. So I don't know yet.
You're doing great.
Yeah, because
I'm just sleeping. What's my job? Just sleeping, eating, and
sleeping, eating, and growing pumpkin.
I did sometimes cook.
You do cook. You made us a really cool breakfast this morning. They could be. If you're moving around a lot, they are kind of a bulky ladder. I used to do a lot of electrical work, and I liked it because it was so compact that you could throw it in even a car. But yeah, that if you move it around after the 4th, 5th time of moving it around, they can get heavy.
Yeah.
And it's just something you need to weigh back and forth. Is it worth dragging around and lugging around for the type of work you're doing or not? And like I say, the biggest advantage to it I liked, especially doing electrical work, was the fact I could throw a couple of boards on it and have a 6-foot-long scaffold that was 3 foot off the ground. Most American houses, that's more than enough to get to the ceiling height.
So since you were an electrician?
I actually started out my career as an electrician, and when we moved to Phoenix, I kind of had a career change. That I grew up in upstate New York, and actually my first job out of high school was doing electrical work for a company that did residential remodeling. That it was really good for that, and I enjoyed the job. But if you didn't have projects that were going to be long enough to get you through the winter, buttoned up to where you could do inside work, you got laid off all winter. So I started driving truck during the winter. when we got to Phoenix, residential electricians didn't pay for garbage. And I made a lot better money doing driving. And I got hooked into running materials, sand, gravel, concrete type stuff, and kind of indirectly learned concrete from that and spent the last 20 years the cement finisher for the city of Phoenix. So I do know electrical work, and I've done quite a bit as side work, just to make a few extra bucks here
You
or
did
there.
plumbing too.
I've done plumbing. Again, by starting out doing a company that did residential remodeling, and we got into a lot of restoration work in the 80s when restorations were a big gig. That we kind of rode that wave early. And so I picked up a lot of plumbing and stuff like that doing that. But electrician was kind of my gig that I knew well. Plumbing, I know enough to stay away from what I don't know enough. Oh, industrial electricians have always made really good money. They can be really great on stairs. There's a couple other ladders that work a little bit better for stairs, but yeah, the multiple ladders like that can be really great on stairs. There was one situation that I kind of did a half scaffold, that I folded down one set of legs and let the other go straight and kind of set it on like that the stairs were the correct height to do it. It worked out well for me. Painting is one thing that I've never, other than just minor stuff for myself, I've never got involved with for a lot of reasons.
Hey, and Papa can do welding.
Yeah, Papa's a welder fabricator, so yeah, we can do pretty much anything you
I
need,
can
especially
paint
here.
too. Me and Mama working.
We can make one huge community house. Now we just need to buy property somewhere.
Yeah.
Create our own little minor subdivision.
Yes.
That's and yeah, electrical here in the Philippines is a interesting conglomeration of things.
Oh, you see our electrical in my parents' place, right?
Yeah.
Your Papa is an electrician too. A welder electrician.
Well, yeah, he kind of started out doing
Well, he actually studied electrical engineering, and then it's only one more year before he could finish it.
because he was also
Plant
plant maintenance foreman down there. So
supervisor.
he kind of got a little bit of everything in that one.
I like how
Yeah, I've done a little bit of brick and block work. That and I haven't noticed this yet, but I guess there's a lot of areas that the 220 power that they have is actually two 110 hot legs. That it's not a true 220 power. Well, that is a true 220 power in a way, but it's not a standard 220 neutral, hot neutral setup.
I like David Wright. So you guys work that.
That up in Subic, up in one of the areas, I'm not sure if it was Subic, but up in one of the areas where it may be somewhere over on Dante, that one of the expats that we were talking with, that there was an old military installation nearby.
Mhm.
And so a lot of the products that they, a lot of the services they had to do with that. And that's what they did, is they in that area, that they took some of the old generators from the military and some of the old stuff that the military had that was 110 and converted it over to 220 that way by using two hot legs. And if there's other places in the Philippines that have a lot of that. And so it's possible to get 110 power by creating a ground to act as a neutral. and then just separating the two hot legs. Yeah, plumbing is another thing that I've seen some. Like I say, I'm not a plumber. You know, that I know I don't know plumbing.
Thing is, the only thing I can do is some mechanical work.
Yeah, AC tin knocker is something I've never messed with, unless you're referring to like auto mechanics. Uh, I just got a weird beat on my phone that I've never heard before. That I have no idea what that was. Uh, yeah, it's horribly humid. My beard itches because of it. And typically, Daniel, you can hire the work done cheaper. Labor is dirt cheap here, and it's not any negative thing on it. Just the economy doesn't require you to pay guys $30 an hour to do stuff.
Yeah.
You know, most of these guys would be happy with $30 for a day's labor. Like doing concrete, because my back's jacked up, that I can't do it as well like I used to. It'd be way cheaper to hire a finisher and just kind of oversee it than it would to do it.
Yeah.
And bottom line, that is something you do kind of need to do, hiring people out. Is you do need to kind of watch them, not because of dishonesty, but watch them because of quality issues that are normal here. Cindy, I think, is heading upstairs. Yes. Hey, here we go. If you want, I can move that cabinet so you can close it.
No, you're good.
Okay. She needs to use the restroom. But yeah, $5 a day, especially in province areas, that would be perfectly acceptable wages. But like I was starting to say, that a lot of times things that are normally done here can be pretty inferior quality. She's not here, so I'm not going to get yelled at for this one. But when they did a septic tank, kind of at Mama Papa's place, they actually laid the bottom two courses of brick literally underwater. And I tried to convince them that is not that is not acceptable. It doesn't matter that you've done that in the past. It is not acceptable. And I've never seen this done on a septic system. The cap that they put in place, they just put a sheet of plywood and poured the entire piece. You got a 4-inch piece of concrete that could completely, 4-inch thick piece of concrete that completely covers the septic tank area. That there's no way to access it. And so no. You will get a lot of things done like that, and it may work in the past, but it is not correct by any stretch of the means. And I could see, and I've heard of stuff like that happening, that people put walls in the wrong place and expect you to replace with, pay for their mistake. A lot of me doing stuff like building that, I enjoy doing it. That was a little bit of exercise in frustration because of not understanding the way that stuff like that is made. And I've heard way too many people horribly piss and moan about IKEA quality stuff because it's so hard to assemble. I've never had a problem assembling that stuff. I've had many people over the years, give me money to go down and assemble it for them because they couldn't figure it out. The only issue I've ever had with IKEA stuff is it's not terribly uncommon to not have all the hardware you need. You may be missing missing 3-4 screws or something like that. And I had a toolbox dedicated to nothing but IKEA pieces that it's not terribly uncommon to have 3 screws short here and 8 extras here. And so the 8 extras, I just throw in a toolbox because next time they may be the ones that are 3 short. And so I've always got some extras whenever I was assembling that type of furniture. But yeah, overall, I don't mind it. I actually enjoy doing this stuff. Now that I've got the tools to do it with, I'll have no problem assembling the desk upstairs, and will probably enjoy that versus being frustrated. And yeah, that yesterday afternoon, I just had to take a break. Or Tuesday afternoon, evening, I just had to stop for a while. And then yesterday we went over to the hardware store, and then had to go to the doctor's. And the doctor wasn't in. That he had, for whatever reason, he wasn't in, and the receptionist never let us know. And so we hustled and got there, and I was running like crazy trying to get there because we were running a little bit late. Got through everything, ran up there and was still about 10 minutes late. And I apologized profusely on my way in, and she said, "Oh, don't worry about it, the doctor's not here." And you didn't inform me of this because, so we've got an appointment. In the neighborhood of 6,000 pesos, I think. I would need to ask Cindy for sure. I heard a door close, so she may be coming back down here shortly. But it was kind of pricey. I'll give you that one. Baby girl, about how much was the cabinet?
5,000.
5,000 pesos.
Actually 6,000, but we had 10% off, so it's 5,600.
Okay, I just got told 5,600 pesos. So whatever that works out to your local currency exchange at the moment. And again, we put all that stuff on our card. And then we get a really good exchange rate. I believe yesterday was just under 48. It was 47 something. So yeah, that put it right in the neighborhood of 100, 110 bucks. The ladder was like 6,000-7,000 pesos. I haven't done the exchange rate on that one. I haven't entered it into our budget yet. I need to do that.
You entered in everything. The one that's the cabinet, the desk, and the chair for like 200.
Right, but I didn't enter city hardware or anything like that.
Okay.
And we actually enter it, and then we'll make a note in the comments for the entry how much the peso cost was and what the exchange rate was. And that way it gives a little bit better live rate on what we're getting through our city card. Wow, is that good or bad? Said I know the dollar is a little low as compared to what a max out at. It's way low. And it had been holding at 48 for quite a while. And here a little bit ago, it dipped down to 46 for a while.
Yeah, 47 going in the back, 47.60.
The Philippine peso is actually losing ground against most other currencies, but right now the U.S. dollar is weakening too. So they're not quite keeping pace with each other, but we're really close.
Yeah, 47.70.
That and our city card, Capital One card. I'm sorry, Capital One card. Our Capital One venture normally gives rate at or occasionally even a little bit above 4x.
Yeah.
I needed to check into MoneyGram. How bad are the fees on that?
Yeah, because instead of remnant, you may need to do money now.
Because I've heard of one
Let's see.
that for our particular circumstance didn't work for us at that time because of the fee structure. But they actually have better exchange rates than Remitly. But Remitly has a feature that if you do a 3-day remittance, that there is no fees. And that doesn't matter the whether it's $1 or $10,000.
We might need to go to the website and check this.
I thought you were checking it out.
There you go.
Because we may have a little bit of an issue setting it up from over here. That
You're right. International money transfer.
okay, because Remitly's fee is only $3.99. So they've got them beat a little bit on the fee rate. And so that'd be a matter of coming down to the exchange rate. And the one that somebody pointed out to me a couple of years ago, we always said Mama Papa remittance.
So $4.99.
Yeah,
for
remittance
one.
is $3.99.
But it's free if it's 3 days.
Right. Yeah, if you do an immediate transfer, it's $3.99. If you do a 3-day transfer, it's free. And the remittance rate doesn't change. I believe we actually get a few more pennies on the dollar up in Canada too. But somebody pointed out one, I don't remember what one it was, that their fee structure was sliding scale. That they actually gave a way higher exchange rate.
Yeah.
But their fee structure was higher enough for low dollar amounts that you were better off with Remitly. But when you hit I think it was $300 or $500 mark, the difference in exchange rate and the lower fee rate for them made up the difference to where you were starting to make better money exchanging through them. And yeah, that here every peso counts, and you are correct. You probably can get a Coke in a bag for 8 pesos easy. We've looked heavily into Western Union. When we first were getting together, I used Western Union, and the biggest thing with them is the fees. The fee schedules are kind of high.
Yeah.
Remitly's fee schedules are way better. Remitly actually has an app that you can do on the phone, and there have literally been times that we went in to Cebuana or one of the remittance places here. This is an issue in the Philippines, and asked, "Do you have enough money to do this transfer?" And they said, "No, sir." And so we asked, "Well, do you have enough money to do this much of a transfer?" And after we found out how much money they had to do the transfer the money right in front of them, and literally within a minute or two, it was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of them, because of security issues, can be a challenge.
Papa doesn't like Mr. There's a lot of questions.
Remitly, You've got the security questions. Yeah, I've heard of stuff like that. Remitly, you've got the questions, but you have to answer by email and provide documentation.
If for bigger amounts.
Now, even the smaller amounts, you do still need to provide some documentation. When I first set it up, I had to provide some. To transfer larger amounts, you've got to produce some more documentation, which we did. And then just before, about 6 months before we left, that we set enough documentation to verify, that yes, we really do have that money coming in, and so on and so forth. And they keep it on file, and that's it. That's all you ever have to do. After that, you send up to their maximum amounts.
Oh, I remember that's good.
Yeah, Remitly, sending most amount though. Once when you set it up, that they don't ask any more questions again. Like I said, we set it up to max it out. They've got 3 different tiers. The first tier, they really don't ask many questions, but you're kind of limited. It's only like $500 a month or something like that. That it's small enough that nobody is going to waste their time realistically, trying to do any kind of money laundering.
Yeah.
The second tier that we signed up for fairly quickly, they ask some basic questions. It's not much. I don't think you actually even got to produce any documentation.
Oh, yeah, I like back-to-bank transfers. Can you bring it me?
That you're talking about like going down to Wells Fargo or Bank America and transferring to
Philippines.
BPI or something like that.
Email.
That I can see that some of these anymore that they get silly and get paranoid and do start accusing of money laundering too easily. But so far with Remitly, we've never had problems. But again, that we were goofy enough and paranoid enough or whatever that
Yes, I would still need to open a bank account there, yeah.
we'd set up everything with Remitly, everything to do with Remitly from the U.S.
And then,
And so we were right there that we could make the calls and all that fun stuff if need be
yeah,
from the U.S. before we left.
because I have video, and sometimes you use my video account to transfer money.
Mm-hmm.
If we do have donation or charity and we have bank account, we could just easily use our bank account. So yeah, we use several bank to bank.
That Remitly does one thing that she's talking about that we do. Remitly, you can use them as liaison doing a bank-to-bank transfer.
Yeah.
If you do a legitimate bank-to-bank where you walk into the bank and tell a teller you want to transfer $10,000 to a BDO account in the Philippines, again, their fee structure can often be way high.
Oh yeah, that's different.
We had a friend of ours that ran a charity for a long time, and she would transfer some significantly large amounts of money
To Vietnam.
to Vietnam. And some of the fees that she paid transferring that kind of money were in my opinion, outrageously horrible.
Actually, not bad. Because the last time I transferred money from Phoenix to Vietnam, that was just $45 for $10,000.
Yeah, we can do $10,000 for free.
Well, that's express.
10,000 we can do for free express. Remember?
But that was a big exchange rate too.
And some of them might be okay. And there's 1,000 ways to get money here, and all of them have their pluses, all of them have their minuses.
Yeah, because when she's in Vietnam, I transfer money from the organization, foundation to her. And that was a huge exchange rate. She received it.
And Remitly doesn't go to every country, and a lot of these remittance companies don't go to every country.
Yeah.
If you do one-off transfers like that, I'm certain large flags go up all over with any of these. And like with Remitly, they're just going to look and see, okay, yeah, he does have files, he does have a history of doing this, making transfers, they just happen to be a big one. That right now, if you need to go. That was an American phone call from an American phone. I'm not going to answer because it's 30 cents a minute.
Oh, you answered it already.
Oh, shoot. Well, I got billed for that call. I hit the wrong button. There we go.
This question was if they're going to Philippines after PP version.
Oh. That ain't cool.
Gonna go Alicia's.
Now, Philippine experience, were you taking pesos out of the Philippines? Yeah, because I'm not sure, and that's just it. Different countries, but like I say, these remittance companies vary horribly from country to country. I don't think Remitly is in New Zealand, so I'm not terribly sure. But again, it definitely doesn't hurt to check it out either. I'm not even 100% sure if Remitly's in Canada. I think it is, but I'm not positive. Yeah, we've taken up to 10,000 here, and when we start taking over like 3 or 5, that they start asking, why you have such money, why you have that kind of money, and again, I'm geeking up. I do stupid things like this. I'll make it copies of the withdrawal slips that I use. Actually, I'm going to be ending this here pretty quick. That Cindy said she wasn't feeling terribly well, and we need to get heading out to a doctor's appointment that got changed. That one that got canceled yesterday, and we never got told about. If it's over 10,000, you will get stopped. You will get asked. You will be required to have explanations. And 10,000 total is the amount that you can bring over without too awful many questions. And that is we've never brought more than that over at any given moment. If we were going to try and bring anything like that over, we would wire the money. I wouldn't want to be carrying that kind of cash. We do have a US dollar account here now, so that if for whatever reason we wanted to get US dollars here, we could do it that way as well. Enjoy, Daniel. A couple weeks we're going to be doing our Zoom meeting. But I'm going to let everyone get going because in about a half an hour I need to be getting going to the doctor, so I need to get a little bit changed and probably grab a shower before we get out. But as always, guys, it's been hugely appreciated for everybody showing out here. And I've noticed that we actually are starting to build audience. Not as many chatty people, which that's cool too. And the comments are definitely always greatly appreciated. But for today, can you say it? Mabuhay.